Once again, we are back with our podcast, The Flower Files. Lizzie here.
Liza.
And Amber.
And today we are going to talk about the oh-so-favorable question of all of you environmental, weather, animal-loving people, especially those who love polar bears. We're going to talk about weather changing and global change and climate and how it affects us, because we could go into eons of information. But today we're going to talk about how it works with our flowers and how it affects us. So my first question, and I feel like we can all answer this in our own way, because we all see it from different perspectives. So how does global warming change what we grow and when and how? Honestly, this year, with being so cold, it's not even October yet. And we have Scabiosa and zinnias and celosia and dianthus in the same field. Mm-hmm. That is record-breaking. It's not okay. I'm sitting in the flower barn, and literally there's a bucket sitting next to Gomphrena and zinnias with Scabiosa.
Yeah.
God forbid there's a bachelor button that comes in, and that means that it's cold.
Well, the nigella is, 4 or 5 inches already. I just...
Mother Nature's confused, and I hope it kills all of the European hornets this year.
Oh.
And I hope to God we have a decent winter with maybe 1 or 2 snows, and then it's done.
Yeah.
I hope we don't freeze to death, but still... I'm ready for the bugs to die.
The bugs have been a lot this year.
Yeah.
And I think it's because we had such a mild winter last year.
The past couple winters haven't been that bad. We're like, oh yeah, it's fine. We've got massive grasshoppers longer than my feet out in the field.
Let me just clarify that your feet are very small.
I do wear a size 6, but still, those grasshoppers are like something you see from Costa Rica.
And new fear unlocked. European hornets in the car? Absolutely not.
Yes.
You have to explain why it was in the car.
Derailing for a moment, but you have to hear this.
Okay, so there was a bouquet that was made that was put in the cooler, and the European hornet went to
the cold 41.2 degree cooler that is temperature controlled overnight.
Yes.
This bouquet was made the day before.
Yes.
And so when this happened, I don't know.
Yeah.
But in between that time,
that hornet went to sleep. It went into hibernation. Mm-hmm. And then it entered my car in the heat on the way to a wedding 2 hours away.
2 hours or 3 hours?
It was over 2. I don't know about 3. Okay. And the hornet woke up
in the moving vehicle with 2 lovely, wildly native ladies
on a road where you could not pull over. Yeah.
There was no shoulder. There was a car behind me, and out of thin air, a European hornet appears in the front windshield.
And if you don't know what a European hornet is,
stick up your thumb, look at it, double it, and that's the European hornet.
It's huge. It's half yellow. It's like yellow striped and red and black, and they look mean. They're awful. At night, if I have my lights on, they come at my windows, and I can hear them hit my glass.
And when you hear, okay, so you guys already know that I'm a nerd, so whatever, I'm just going to put it on the shelf. But like a lot of the times when you hear a bee or something buzzing next to you,
or like a fly.
You hear like a zzz kind of sound.
Yeah.
These guys are like,
yeah, you're like, oh God, it's next to me. Where did it go?
Don't breathe.
Yeah. You should have seen me the other night. It was like literally like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 10:45 at night. It was one of our long nights.
Yeah.
And they're attracted to light, and Mom's outside working.
So it's the night before we're supposed to get a tropical storm. So we're trying to get everything loaded that we can the night before.
Because it was cool. The flowers were amazing, and they were alive.
Everything was fine.
And the door was open to the barn. We have fluorescent lights and a sign that will beam across 2 front yards into your eyes if it is on. It's a neon sign. It is so bright. But this hornet just moseyed its way into the flower barn. I thought I was gonna die. Thank God we have like 2 stories, but if they see movement, they like come at you.
Yeah, because they're curious. So
I like hopped on the floor and squatted and turned off all the lights and waited until it went out the door back to the porch light. And then, well, what freaks me out is that you wear a headlamp at night.
Yeah.
It's just going to come at your forehead.
Well, there's definitely times where I'm trying to, like, if there's a storm coming or something's happening, I throw on a headlamp so that I can have my hands free to drop the sides or check a fence or whatever it is that I need to do at some weird, crazy hour. I mean, you can hear those suckers coming because not a fan.
They're massive.
Not a
They're
fan.
big.
But this one had appeared out of thin air, and suddenly it was in my windshield. There was no shoulder. There was a car behind me.
You didn't even have a sunroof.
I do, but I never open it.
True.
But it landed on my windshield, and all of a sudden it's just like taking a stroll across my windshield. And Cynthia and I are freaking out. She's holding the bouquet in her hands. So, like, we knew that it had come out of the bouquet because it just appeared. It hadn't, like, flown up past us or anything. So I thought for sure when we rolled the windows down, she was going to yank the bouquet out the window.
Like the bridal bouquet.
That thing was gone. It was dead meat, gone. But, you know, it was still defrosting, so it was just hanging out. And if you can, eventually the car behind me passed me, and if you can imagine me, like, slouched down in my seat, screaming,
As
waiting
far
for it to
away.
leave. Eventually it left, and I put the window up, and that Hornet held on to my car while I was doing, like, 70 miles an hour for a while.
He said, I'm hanging 10, man. Let's go.
Not in the first shore.
New fear unlocked. No, thank you.
Oh my god. So
Uh-uh.
yeah, we're ready for a winter where it kind of resets everything because I'm okay with horseflies and mosquitoes now. I will gladly take them.
Yeah.
No more bees.
100%.
Bumblebees, I will
Bumblebees
take
are great.
bees and honeybees.
Honeybees are great. No problem.
Hornets? Hell no.
Mm-mm.
No.
I think one of the other things that happened this summer that's been one of the first times is it was so dry for so long, and we have 3 hives of honeybees out back. And we have whiskey barrels that have water in them with some rocks, but I think the bees were looking for water so much. Our bucket washing station out front really became kind of like a hive, no pun intended. A mecca.
Hibernation spot, a resource point. You know what? It's a micro environment for the honeybees. Science. That's what it is.
But they would just, and the silk bags that we use for on top of the dahlias, we wash them in between so that, you know, you're not spreading diseases. And if there's bugs that do land on them and they do add little, like, poop or footprints or any of that kind of stuff, like any of that stuff, we wash them. But that's a great landing site for those honeybees because we would put them in the water and just get, you know, splash them around. And oh my gosh, that was definitely okay, don't step in the flight path. Stay out of the way. But it was just honeybees in there. So it was very interesting to see how they interacted. I mean, there were no wasps. There was nothing else. It was just the honeybees. I don't know. It was interesting.
Yeah.
We had so fun fact, my parents have a little bird bath, and my dad was building, like, little bridges and little honeybee spots for the bees to be able to, like, land and not get their feet wet but still get a drink. And he's like, I found a great stick today.
He's retired, by the way. You can't tell.
100%. 100%.
But how does it getting so hot during the summer and so cool so early during the fall change how we grow things?
It shortens the season, and we get lucky with spring stuff.
Yeah.
The way that we start to hunt for stuff is ridiculous when it gets cold. And by the way, the caterpillars this year have absolutely ruined 2 whole rows of celosia. Gone.
What kind of caterpillars are they? What are they?
They're from the vegetables. They're clear little, and they're probably clear because they're larvae, or God only knows. But they're clear.
They came from moths.
Little, like, mushy things. I don't know. I found them on my floor in my room. I found one in my bed. They stick to your leg. Like, and they're slimy. But they don't even just, like, chew holes in the leaves. They, like, chew on the celosia, and then it turns white. Like, the dark red maroon celosia turns white. Like, blank.
So
like,
there's a couple.
Why?
So there's a couple different varieties that we have out there, and every year the coxcomb variety, the one that looks like
the brain,
looks like brain or the head of a rooster or chicken or something like that. They demolish that, and then they eventually start to figure out the other stuff. So I think when we see the moths, because we would walk out and everybody's like, oh, look at all the butterflies. I was like, those are not butterflies, those are moths.
So all of the cute little white butterflies you see flying early in the spring, don't like them. They eat your flowers, and especially our flowers.
Eat everything. And it's really hard because we try to be as organic and natural as possible.
And then the caterpillars get into Lysianthus, and they grow and they grow, and their poop gets bigger, and it's so disgusting, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
You because you from afar, you're like, oh, it's not that bad. We'll just peel off the leaves. Well, then you go into the head of the celosia, into the in between parts.
Yeah, because there's so many little folds.
And there's one here, two there. You're like, well, can't put that in a picture. Can't put that in a bouquet. Can't put that in a detail shot. Can't use it in corsages or boutonnieres or nothing. Nope. Absolutely nothing.
Nope.
I'm so frustrated. God, I'm so frustrated. I was out there this morning and I was just staring at it and I was like, fuck. What are we going to do? I texted Kenley and she was like, well, we're going to have to do something. I was like, dude, celosia is the last thing to go.
Yeah.
You cut
it's the last thing of summer to go. And it dries really well. And it's really one of our staple flowers.
Yeah. And
we use that
the batch that's out there now, it had just started to be cuttable. Because they bloom and then there's two stems and then you cut it and then there's okay. Yeah. But we leave it alone for a little bit and you have a bush. It was a full shrub and now it's just skeletons. Not as bad as amaranth though.
Oh my gosh, the amaranth was demolished this year.
Yeah.
Demolished. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. So we're ready for cold weather to kill all of the bad bugs.
And I think that there's a misunderstanding with global warming that global warming means that it's getting hotter outside. But there are two extremes to it. We have hotter summers and colder winters. So what does that mean for us going into the planting season?
Well, it definitely means that we're depending a lot more on our hoop houses to give us the shoulders on the seasons. But with that being said, we have to be really careful because if we have a really warm day, we have to make sure those sides are open so not everything in that hoop house fries. Mm-hmm. But then when we have really, really, really chilly nights, we need to make sure that ground is nice and warm and not freezing because that really is what determines things doing well or not doing well. And we're layering extra, agribond fabric and, running propane heaters and everything we can to try to keep a little bit of warmth in there.
And I think this year is the longest year we've had with stuff in the hoop house because usually we're like, oh yeah, it's fine. We'll clean it out in the fall. It's done.
We worked really hard this year to make sure that was productive year round.
And it looks amazing.
Yeah.
There's no weeds, which is very unheard of.
Yeah.
But it's just I'm excited for next year because I feel
really amended
the system. Every year we get better and better. And I feel like we did pretty good with the colors and the things to plant, the specific varieties of things of colors to plant. We love zinnias, but there's this one mix that's just pretty much purple and orange, and not a lot of you guys want purple and orange in your weddings until fall.
Right.
So we're out of white zinnias until the next batch is up. There's a whole batch that Kenley planted of just white zinnias, and I'm out there. I'm like, well, thank God, because hydrangeas are almost done. Thank God that she planted them.
Right.
And the more we cut, the more they grow. Our zinnias, that one row next to the tithonia is up to my shoulders.
Yeah, they're huge.
It's so tall. But we've also cut them from
June.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Well, they're a cut and come again flower. You've got your one-hit wonders like a sunflower. You plant the seed, plant the plant, you cut it, and it's finished. Mm-hmm. But things like zinnias, cosmos, even gomphrena, the more you cut them, the more they push.
Cosmos have been really fussy this year.
I've been reading a lot of blogs, and I've been hearing a lot of people are cutting their varieties of cosmos. The only variety people want to use is the Versailles. Because they just get so funky and they get so beaten up, and then they also don't last great. They don't have good vase life.
They're pretty.
They're pretty and they're wispy and they do all of the things.
Your first set of blooms bloom, and then they look like crap because you have a dead bloom, and then from that bloom is that next two.
Well, you're constantly deadheading, and as soon as it gets cool, that's when that Versailles variety comes back up.
But honestly, the greens are great. Like in Oasis, like you can't like put hanging cosmos from like in a bouquet because it'll wilt, but still, like it's a pretty good filler.
And it's great for scattered vases and things like that because it's that light and airy and dainty and fairy-like, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful, but man, sometimes is it hard to grow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And what about when it's extremely cold outside? We already have plants in the ground, and we're in Florida, and boom, there's snow coming.
So, well, if there's snow coming and it's supposed to be super cold, not a problem because snow is an insulator. And so in the fall, when we plant, we plant a whole bunch of cool season things. And you can put plants in the fall, and then they grow very, very slowly all through the winter. But we give them a little...
And they grow slowly because the sun isn't out for as long during the day, so they don't have as much sunlight to photosynthesize, to grow their cells, to grow more, to get taller and grow faster. Because there's sunlight shortage.
Science.
Yeah. We're sciencing today. Yes. I like it. But we put hoops over. So a hoop is like either metal or plastic. I've used both. And then we use what's called agrabah, and there's different thicknesses of it, but that gives between 5 to 10 degrees of warmth on top of the air. Mm-hmm. It also keeps frost off. It keeps the wind off. There's bags that go there's a lot of work that goes into it.
And another thing with snow too, the past couple years, and I have that landscape design plant brain kind of like Mom, but just in a different sense. With snow, with the way that we've had it, a lot of our stuff, especially last year and the year before, was short. Snow is actually the best form of watering for trees and plants and your perennials because it melts slower. Mm-hmm. So you don't have that flush of water where you're saturating the soil too fast so that there's no oxygen in the soil for the roots and the rhizomes and all the things to be able to grow. So when it's slow, everything takes its time.
And actually gets a drink.
Yeah.
So, it's not chugging.
Yeah. So in the wintertime, trees actually get their most amount of hydration in the winter. Mm-hmm. And that's why, I mean, I know there's multiple reasons of why PA trees are 10,000 times higher than what we have because they're competing all the time. But still, like, and their sunlight time is shorter than ours. So that's why they're taller because they're whatever. But still, but snow is a good thing. It's a really good thing.
Yeah.
That's why winter wheat looks amazing.
If it's going to snow, we have to go out and we have to pull all of those hoops off. We pull all of those covers off because what happens is the snow falls on top and it just pushes everything down. Yeah. Where if it snows and everything is exposed, it's just kind of a natural blanket that lays on everything. Snow is one thing, but I'll tell you what really kicks everybody's butt is wind. It's the wind that is just brutal. From not just knocking things over, but from actually like burning them. Mm-hmm. It just makes it really hard.
Now we don't have a problem with the deer and the foxes because we actually have that massive fence up. So thank God for that.
Yep.
That was a huge thing that helped us because there would just be times where like it would be beautiful and then the next day there would have been a fox trying to chase a toad at night and it would completely ruin
a whole section.
Yeah. And we were like, well, can't use that anymore.
Yeah.
Other than a couple rabbits here and there with the lizanthus because they're just fat and happy.
I remember foxes running through the bachelor buttons. I think it was 2 years ago now. Mm-hmm. And half that row was just completely laid over.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We were like, well, what are we going to do about now?
I haven't.
Because they're clearly not out there trying to, fix them. They're getting dinner.
Yeah.
Instead.
So fun fact, really quick. I read this on the internet. You know that you can't post anything on the internet that isn't true. Mm-hmm. Supposedly, fall foliage is better in New York than it is in Maryland because we were in the Ice Age more recently than they were.
Yep. It's true.
Okay. So the internet didn't lie to me this time.
No, that wouldn't surprise me at all. So when I'm going to get all sciencey on you, completely derailing, but
it was the most recent, environmental crisis, but we weren't around to experience it, you know?
there was a park, or there is a national park, and I can't remember for the life of me, which I should know because I did a class project on it, so I should probably remember it. But there is a national park in South Carolina, I think. It's in the South, but it's in the Piedmont, and they actually have trees that grow in swamps because they were used to all of the water and all of like the saturation, and that's why their soil is so different. That's why they don't have the same things that we have. Like, we have trees that can grow in swampy areas, but they live in like water. Like,
are you talking about like cypress and things like that?
Just there's a specific kind of tree though, and I can't remember for the life of me because I not like I went to school or anything. Still,
I hope your professors are listening.
I'll get crap for it at some point in my life, I'm sure. But it's pretty cool to see what like 2 hours can do, what 4 hours can do, and like a difference can make. Yeah. Like, even just going up from here to school with driving. I bet you, like, you went to New York last week. How close were they to fall compared to here?
Oh, they're going to be in full fall foliage, like, this week or maybe next.
Yeah. It's insane.
It's September.
Yeah. That's what I would tell you. Like, oh, yeah, they're, like, like, PA, like, school, like, Del Val is, like, was always 2 to 3 weeks ahead of our, like, schedule. So I'd freeze my butt off up at school, and I'd come home and I'd be totally warm. And I'd be fine because I had already acclimated to 5 days up in like 47-degree weather. And I come home and it's still 64.
Yeah.
And it's literally only 2 hours away.
And what's this tree out here that drops all the monkey balls?
It's a sweet gum.
Okay, great. The sweet gum, there are none of them in New York.
Really?
None. In the 4 years that I lived there, I never once saw a sweet gum like ball.
Interesting.
Not a single one.
Very interesting.
So yeah, the changes in the environment are really affecting everything. Everything.
Yeah.
And it's not the first time that it's happened. We had the ice age.
It's a circle of life. It's true though. Everything talks to each other. Everything has a communication system. Like, everything. Anything and everything. It's just
it's like last week. I did a story on our Instagram about, like, you could feel the weather coming.
Oh yeah, you can smell it. People thought I was insane up at school.
There's an actual word for that.
I don't know what it is, but it's a sixth sense.
All the rain.
Yeah, like I would look at people like,
I'm like,
oh, is it supposed to rain? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you guys can smell it, and they would be like, what? You smell the rain? I was like, yeah. They're like, well, we know what it smells like afterwards. I said, yeah, dead worms.
Okay. No.
Well, after it rains, when everybody runs over all the poor worms.
Petrichor. So Petrichor is the smell of rain. The word comes from the Greek word petra, meaning stone, and ichor, which in Greek mythology refers to the golden fluid that flows in the veins of the immortals. Wow.
So there's Greek mythology.
Yeah, I like that. So you can smell all kinds of cool stuff. But there's an actual word for that.
You can smell it.
I just call it smells good.
Yeah, it does smell good.
It smells amazing. So, no, but like last week, trying to get ready. So we had a couple weddings over the weekend. We had a women's circle night, which was absolutely amazing. And we were trying to get ready for the tropical storm that was coming, which entails like tie everything up, cut things back that we know that might break, like, and of course all the typical, like, make sure the buckets are put away, make sure all of the things are.
The tables are broken down because God forbid we have a broken window. Like,
yeah, no, don't want any of that kind of stuff. But trying to figure out what that looks like, and also being realistic in the things that. Okay, we know that that's pretty close to the season on that. We're not going to waste our time trying to save that. Kind of trying to hunt and peck and figure out, and doing a super hard cutting ahead of time, because if a flower's open and it gets rained on, all those petals get messed up. You can't save them. So we cut and we cut and we cut and we cut and we cut. And I can't tell you how many times we've cut in the dark because we know that weather's coming.
Yeah, or in the rain in the morning.
Yeah.
That was an interesting day.
That was so wet. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was not fun.
No.
It was not fun at all. Yeah. And then tornadoes and hail, and I mean, it's lions and tigers and bears. It's all of the things. It's a lot.
Global warming has brought out some really extreme weather. I mean, what happens if the field floods? What happens if it's all gone?
Hey guys, Lizzie here. I bet you didn't know this about me, but I am gluten-free, and one of the things that I struggle with is going to the grocery store and finding the foods that fit my dietary needs. What I have been doing for the past couple of months is ordering from Hungryroot. Now, Hungryroot is an online company where you can order groceries off of their website. It's full of produce, crackers, cookies, to muffins, to meats, and all the different types of snacks and things like that. They have made my life so much easier in the process of finding foods that fit my dietary needs. There are filters that you can adjust, such as non-GMO, dairy-free, gluten-free, paleo, different preferences and things like that. So what they have done for us, because they're such a generous company, the Hungryroot team has given us a 40% off discount code on your first box. So if you use the code FLOWER40, and that's capital FLOWER 40 at checkout, you will get 40% off your first box. I'm so excited to team up with these guys. They've made such an impact on my life in the morning and to my day-to-day life, and I hope you experience the exact same thing that I do. All of the information will be linked down below, including the link to where it should already be pre-applied to your cart when you hit the link and go to their website, and I will also add the code at the bottom for easy access in our show notes. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and enjoy your first box through Hungryroot. Well, if the field floods, then our house would be underwater.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I mean, technically, until you get to, I think, like, Galena, we're not, like, we're at sea level.
Yeah, we're not in a flood zone.
No. Like, Galena, I think, is only, like, 30 feet. And actually, fun fact, I'm pretty sure it's Germany. I could be wrong. My professor told me, so I could be wrong. Because I might not have listened the whole way. But Germany is under sea level.
Yeah, there are definitely some countries out there that are built below sea level.
Like,
That's insane.
Yeah, it's just, that's just wild to me. I'm like, well, what are you going to do? Like, what happens now?
It's funny. Germany, I always picture as like mountainous and like
it's where they play soccer.
Yeah. No, it's I don't know. If the field, there's only so back up 2 years, probably 3 years now.
And I'm thinking of the summer when there were farms down in Salisbury that flooded, and there were farmers that like were out their entire livelihood because their fields were underwater.
Yeah, like they were underwater for extended periods of time.
Like they were rowing boats through their fields.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it was 2 or 3 summers ago, and it was a hurricane that had come through, and things definitely were flooded. I mean, it was
really,
that when
she was tubing for the yard?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good day.
It was a lot of fun, actually. But I don't know. Sometimes there's a little bit of prayer that goes on. You know, you just say, okay. And there's some plants that can sustain it, and there's some plants that are just too stressed. That's definitely how there was one section of field that was much lower than the other, and we have spent a ton of time fixing that section of field to really kind of bring it back up and get it really back up so that it's all level. So we don't have those different spots, because it's also not fun to walk in all that muck either. So I will say one of the side effects of warmer weather is little Miss Lizzie over there definitely enjoys being outside and in the sunshine.
Yeah.
So I definitely think maybe we get a little more sunburn than.
Oh yeah, 100%. You kidding me? Do you remember when I went to that day game with Kenley? How burnt I was?
You guys were burnt pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
That was probably like the first time you guys were out in the sun. So it was like June.
I think it was May.
Okay.
Yeah. It was like you weren't just red; you were like almost a hue of purple.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and I think you peeled like 3 times.
Oh yeah.
It was so
and I
bad.
had to attend a wedding that weekend.
Oh my gosh!
I had to attend one.
You're You're like, this is great. This is me just glowing in the corner.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to some of that stuff too, one of the things that, folks really don't talk about is, what do we wear? What do we wear? Yeah. So we wear, you're always in coveralls. Like, you'll throw coveralls on a lot.
Well, I get itchy from everything.
Yeah.
And I don't want my jeans that I just put on 20 minutes ago to get covered in God only knows what, and then have to go change.
Again. And that's the opposite of me, because I'm usually changing my clothes like 300 times a day.
Yeah.
I'm just like, whatever.
Well,
I need new socks.
Well, I used to complain all the time about all of the dew all over the plants and all the flowers and everything. And the one morning when it was dry, I was cutting gomphrena, and the fuzz from the gomphrena flew everywhere. It got all down my neck. It got on my sweatshirt. Like, you could see it. Like, I know it has it because we stripped the leaves off of it, but it wasn't wet. It was dry, so it was just flying everywhere. So every morning I'm like, why is everything wet? My legs are soaking wet. It's so cold. And now I don't complain because I don't get itchy because stuff's not dry.
Yeah.
So you win and lose.
I think there's definitely a lot of time. Okay, so we start off in like one pair of boots, and then we change again, and it depends on, like, are we squatting that day because we're going to be planting? What are we doing? Mm-hmm. There's definitely a lot of there's coveralls, there's the windbreaker jacket things. Mm-hmm. Those
a lot of vests, a lot of
vests.
Yeah, during the winter, all the layers we can get.
Oh my gosh. And thank God for bibs.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, me in here all the time. Vests. Yeah. Bear paws. Bear paws are coming out.
Yep.
Bear paw season.
Yeah, for sure.
Ugg season, I guess.
It's that warm. You just got to figure out how to stay warm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And in the summer?
Well, if we could be naked, we would.
Yeah.
That's the wild side of wildly naked. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, there are some mornings that it's hot.
Yeah.
I don't know how the girls do it, but
yeah,
like, it's warm.
Well, and it's not just it's not just the heat. Sometimes it's just so thick.
Yeah, like the humidity. One morning, I'll never forget it. Kenley and I were standing next to the water spigot, and you could literally see, like, it was foggy because it was so humid, and you could literally see it moving. I looked at Kenley and was like, how does it feel to breathe underwater? And she was like, I can barely move. I was like, yeah. Like, I feel like I'm suffocating. And we were fine. Like, we made it through.
Well, okay. So let's talk about, like, okay, you're hot, you're sweaty. It's super thick. How many times a day do you have to put on deodorant?
Yeah.
Too many.
Yeah. Like,
a decent amount.
And everybody's like, oh, use natural deodorant. I'm like, that's going to be bug repellent as well, because homegirl's going to sweat.
Yeah.
But it's hard. I don't know.
Deodorant's got to put in the work. And, like, regular women's deodorant, the natural deodorant, no matter what deodorant you pick out, it's not doing enough.
No, especially if you're trying to be, like, natural and healthy and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Sometimes it's hard. Mm-hmm. It's so hard.
Yeah, you gotta pick your battles.
Yeah, and do you wear shorts because you're hot, but then everything's itchy and scratchy and touches you?
And your thighs chafe.
Yeah. Honestly, that's why I wear my coveralls in the morning, too.
Yeah.
Because it hurts.
Yeah.
Like, and I can only wear my leggings 7 days in a row. Like, and then they stretch out.
You gotta do that laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. So lots of boots, lots of extra tufts. Mm-hmm. And then we switch, and then partway through the day, I feel like, well, I always end up in my Keens, but everybody else ends up in, like, sneakers or something else. Yeah.
I remember it a lot.
Yep. It's crazy. But, well, I guess if I had a boat and I was paddling through the flowers and we had a wedding to do that weekend, I would have to say that so we're part of a flower consortium, a local group of other flower growers that, if we needed to, we could reach out to them. And if push came to shove, I would never want to let anybody down. So we would use our wholesale license. That would be,
emergency cases.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
But yeah, awesome sauce.
All right, guys, pray for us because the weather's weird.
Yeah. We're trying.
The weather's wow.
Yeah. We out here in the slums.
With the worms.
Yeah.
And the mud.
And the gangsta frogs.
Oh my god, and the crickets. What is with the crickets?
Yeah. I got in a box that was outside overnight, and they got in the cracks, and I opened them up in here, and I knew they were in here, and there were 2 large crickets, and they have since then declared residence.
I also don't think that she told me, but last weekend when we set up that wedding on Sunday, I was sitting on the floor cutting up greens for the tables, and I had a cricket crawling on my shoulder.
Oh, quality.
Yeah.
In some cultures, Mulan, isn't that like wasn't he a cricket?
Oh, yeah. The good luck cricket.
Yeah, good luck. There you go.
I chopped its head off.
Oh my god.
It scared the daylights out of me. People were arriving, and I said, shoo! And then I chopped its head off so it wouldn't scare anybody else.
Oh my god.
I looked at Amber, I was like, are you okay? She was like, yeah. She's had a cricket crawling on me. I was like, okay.
I about jumped out of my skin.
This is happening. You're like, not happening.
Working here, you will not be afraid of bugs.
Anything but European hornets.
Yeah, anything except that, honestly.
I
And
like it when
the
we
giant
find the
wolf
frogs.
spiders that apparently hibernate in the foxglove.
Yeah, they're kind of scary.
Big. I was like, oh, I almost stuck my hand right next to that. Let's not do that today. Yeah. That and snakes.
Oh yeah.
I like the little like tree frogs. I like those little guys.
Yeah. I think it was my very first day here. Kenley was driving. At that point, we had the golf cart. Kenley was driving the golf cart. We went out to the field, and she pulled me right up next to a snake that was like kind of standing up and looking at me. And I barely knew Kenley at this point, but I was almost her lap. I was like,
I think you were screaming that day.
Yeah. I was like, hey, hi, how you doing?
Oh my gosh! All right,
that's it. That's all we got for you this week.
Yep, that works.
Weather and bugs and more weird things.
Lots of science
facts. Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, thank you for listening.
We'll catch you next time.
Bye, guys.
Hey guys, just dropping a line to tell you about Patreon.
So I asked them, Mom and Amber, what is Patreon anyway? Because I honestly had no idea. So we're going to explain it to you from our perspective so that you understand and so that I understand.
Because the first time I saw it, I was like, Patron? We're drinking tequila? Great. So Patreon is for less than a cup of coffee, those fancy coffees that y'all like, a day, you can sign up to become one of our members.
A little family.
Exactly. And what does that get us?
It gets us some freebies, some special episodes that other people do not get access to. You can interact with us on a special platform where we can ask you questions and interact with you. It's tons of fun.
Mm-hmm. And even on those special episodes, we might be less censored than we are already. And we're going to have a couple fun ones that we can just kind of throw in there and talk about and laugh and go on tangents and have fun. So I hope that you all enjoy it because we're going to have fun along the way. We're crazy excited.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Back to the episode now. Bye.
Gracias.